in the city of Seattle has escalated. It's been going on for months now. On Sunday night, 18 people were arrested near a police union building. Rioters threw bottles and fireworks. Several police officers were injured. That's a phrase we've uttered a lot on this show. Some officers are tired of being used for target practice, and they've had enough. Watch.
Not really, you're around. Oh, well, I'm sorry for that, but don't worry, man, because guess what? I'm leaving. You guys won. Look at 2 months, baby. I'm out. You're about to resign? How you feeling about that? You're about to resign? I'm feeling great. You're about to resign or what? Yeah, I'm feeling great. Is that what you're saying? Yeah. I am leaving this apartment. You guys won.
So it turns out you don't need to defund the police. Once you put people like the people who run Seattle in charge, the police just quit on their own, because no normal person would take that job at this point. Jason Rantz is a radio show host in Seattle. We're happy to have him on tonight. Jason, what is the state of Seattle tonight, if you could sum it up for us?
Well, there's the sad irony that you just mentioned. We're about to fire 100 police officers, but so many are leaving on their own. There have been well over 100 applications that have gone over to different agencies because they don't want to work for the city of Seattle, a city that despises them, a city that's made attacking police officers a sport. They don't feel supported by the community. There are a lot of people who have stepped up to support them, but ultimately a lot of these activists are coming out there and they're speaking louder. We're pretending still that these are protests. I'm sorry, these are no longer protests. They've not been protests for several weeks. They go out there with the intent of causing harm to these police officers. They show up with bats. They show up with fireworks with the intent of doing damage. They're not showing up to protest for some social justice cause. That's not what they're doing. And what I find interesting in all of this is 45 minutes from now, Joe Biden, starting with the DNC, are going to get a whole bunch of speeches. And Joe Biden has made a campaign about the soul of the nation is on the line. And I think he's 100% correct. What's happening in Seattle, Portland, Chicago, the soul of the nation is on the line. He's just on the wrong side of this. You have Democratic leaders who are unwilling to call out this violence. Some of them completely ignore it. And unfortunately, the soul is on the line. Hopefully some people will step up.
Yeah, because it doesn't necessarily get better if you don't stop it. Really quick, I've got to think there are a lot of normal people in Seattle, normal Democrats, who are reaching the limit of their tolerance of this stuff.
You would like to think that, and I'm hoping that with the chief of police, the first female black police chief in Seattle's history, stepping aside because of her treatment, you would think it would embarrass the city. We'll find out in the coming weeks, but as of right now, I don't see that happening because not enough people are stepping up, and I feel like they are too scared to. So people need to get that courage, summon up that courage, and realize people are on your side. Enough is enough, and we're going to lose Seattle if people don't step up.
Yeah. God, what a shame.
Here's what I want you to see, folks. This is a police officer. He goes out every day. I'm sure he has family. He may have children. Goes out every day and risks his life to protect people like you and I. And this is happening all over the country. It's just not in Seattle. It's in New York. It's happening in St. Petersburg, Florida, where Rick Kreisner now wants the police department not to go out to domestic violence, mental illness, neighborhood disputes, homelessness. So the bottom line to that is when it gets out of control for the social worker that's supposed to show up for all that unarmed, there's going to be a tragedy, and that's something Rick Kreisner is going to have to pay for. They eventually will have to call the police, and then they will have to step in. I've already spoken with the Pinellas County Sheriff Department, one of the sheriffs, and he said it's crazy to do that because by the time the police gets there to help out the social worker, something else is going to happen. They're going to end up looking like this guy or worse. So, police lives matter, and everybody says all lives matter, and they do. And right now, I want to say this. We've all had our incidents where maybe the police didn't do what we wanted them to, or whatever it is. I've had an incident like that before. I needed a ride home because a guy was chasing me, and the policeman said he couldn't give me a ride, but he could give me some money to make a phone call. Well, I didn't have a phone at home, so I had to run. Sometimes they can't do it because their hands are tied because of what their department rules are. I never hated the police department. I don't dislike them. If I need them, I call them. They come. And for that, I'm thankful for, because that's what this country's about, law and order. It's not about mayhem and looking like a third world country. So I'm asking everybody today to say a prayer for all the police over this country, because they need it. And they need to know that we stand beside them. And if we have to, we'll stand in front of them. But they can no longer take this abuse. Look at this man's face. And there's been worse. So I'm going to ask you to do your part. Tell a police officer the next time you see him how much you appreciate him. Buy him a coffee. Ask him how his children are, or his family, or his dog. And most of all, tell him you appreciate him. Because this country needs to lift up our police departments all across the country. God bless you. God bless America. And thank you, police officers and sheriffs, for going out every day to protect people like me. And also, when your mayor and your governor don't allow you to take care of the people in your community, I understand why you resign. This doesn't look like the America I was born into. But look what it's become. And I hope that it changes. And my thinking is, I hope this officer didn't take a beating like this because it's an election year. Because if it is, that's criminal. God bless you, and God bless America, and pray for this country.